All right, good morning and welcome to the PNB Morning Show. My name is Kenneth Chidi. All right, today we'll be diving into so many issues, especially issues that borders on IPAC and their reaction towards the revalidation of the voters card by INEC. We are going to be looking at issues that has to do with the attempt by political parties to boycott the 2027 election. All right, I have with me here Alhaji Shaibu. Good morning, Mr. Alhaji Shaibu.
Good morning, CK. How are you?
Fine. Good morning. How was your Easter break?
We thank God. Inshallah.
Welcome. You're looking more like one who really celebrated this Easter break.
Of course I did. I did celebrate Easter.
Okay, you're welcome back.
Thank you very much.
All right, before we go for the newspaper break, we shall be going on a short break. And when we return, we'll go straight to the newspaper review. All right, welcome back. All right, we have on the newspaper today a lot of burning issues in the country. The first one we have, Alhaji Shaibu. What do we have there? We have New Telegraph. Okay.
With the major title as Tinubu approves 3.3 trillion naira to their power debts and improve electricity.
3.2 trillion naira.
Yes.
Okay, to improve electricity.
Exactly. And then we have another rider shows genuine commitment to improving Nigeria's lot.
Okay, Mr. Shaibu, what do you make of that 3.2 trillion naira to improve power, to improve electricity in Nigeria?
Yes.
Is it, do you think is a laudable effort by the president?
Of course. Ordinarily, it should be a laudable effort, but we know that this is one area that we have been grappling with for decades. And up to now, there's no any improvement in the power sector, despite the amount of billions and trillions being spent in improving the power sector. I don't know if this 3.3 trillion will be utilized effectively. I think maybe we may see light at the end of the tunnel. Although similar amount of money have been spent in the past, and we are still in a dire need of power supply, particularly to power our industries and our companies.
Okay, but before now, the leader of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Joe Ajero, reacted. There was this information was then floating in the air, and he reacted and saying that the money was not meant for the improvement of electricity, allegedly, that it was for the boys. There was an issue, this issue of 3.2 trillion, I beg your pardon, has been ongoing before now. And there was these allegations and counter allegations that the money was meant for Gencos, the boys, and the rest of them. Now we are seeing it being, real now, staring us at the face.
Exactly.
So, but some people may argue that is it timely, looking at the fact that we are borrowing money. Some we said, okay, the election is just by the corner. Could it be possible that the electricity will improve before then? So, what do you think?
No, personally, I don't think so. But at least what I see is a step in the right direction. At least if the money can be utilized effectively. That's always my concern. You will see a lot of money being put forward for particular reason, and then you will see the money will be diverted to other avenues. This is only my concern. It's not actually how much money is being get for something. It's whether or not those monies have been utilized effectively for the purpose for which they were released.
The issues of electricity has been in the front burner since 1999.
Yes.
We've seen funds, money
released in trillions,
and the situation is getting worse. It's interesting that even to know that the likes of us would even sleep with light.
I went since Friday for the weekend, for the Easter and Good Friday public holidays. Till I come back to Abuja, there was no light in Kaduna.
No light in Kaduna.
No light. I haven't seen a light for 10 seconds in my area in Kaduna till I come back to Abuja today.
Okay.
So you can see how deep we are.
So you think from now till the next election, something can be done?
I'm not sure. That's just the truth about it.
With 3.2 trillion?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure? Okay, let's go to the next headline. The next headline, okay, let's see. The new telegram. Okay.
13% derivation. Derivation allocation to oil producing state drops 21% to 2017 to 207.3 billion naira.
That is 13% derivation to state
allocation. Drops down by 21%.
Do you see that affecting certain sectors or factors in the states?
Of course they do, because most of the time it is this money that are used to improve the situation in those local oil producing areas. And when you cut down on what they used to have, certainly it will affect some of the delivery that are intended.
More so that the money is some states are experiencing insecurity.
Exactly.
So are you saying that the possibility of these funds affecting the security votes?
Everything, the security vote and every other thing, even the well-being of the citizen and
recurrent and capital projects.
Everything it will affect, because 21% is a huge amount of money. Since we are talking about hundreds of billions, you understand. So it will translate into so many areas of their life in those particular states that are affected.
Okay, let's go to the next newspaper, please. The next newspaper, we have The Hope.
North-East war deepens Easter celebration. Middle East war dampens Easter celebration in Jerusalem. Report.
Middle East war dampens Easter celebration in Jerusalem.
Well, just peace.
Okay.
Worshippers turn away as security lockdown tightens.
Okay.
And then Lebanon, Syria, Gulf Christians communication also unlucky. Communities also unlucky. That's a very sad situation.
Very, very sad indeed. Yes. We are supposed to be celebrating Easter, and people are scared of celebrating Easter because of war.
Exactly.
And you can see the effect of war, the spoils of war, what it can.
Especially in the birthplace of Jesus Christ himself, Jerusalem, and then surrounding areas like Syria, where there are a very huge number of Christians faithfuls, particularly around the Lebanon area. This is one place where you will find a very large number of Arab Christians in the world, Lebanon.
Okay.
Because just like Nigeria, they too, every time they have election, the first person would be either Muslim and Christian, or whenever the president is Christian, the prime minister is Christian, the president must be Muslim. That's how they run their political system in Lebanon.
Mr. Shaibu, you can understand that it is not only Jerusalem that's also suffering it. Here in Nigeria, we're also suffering it.
Yes, I'm just talking in respect of the...
Some might say, in the case of Jerusalem, we have issues of people, not, going to their worship centers.
Exactly.
Avoiding it because of possible attack.
I understand. The headline is talking about Middle East.
The Middle East.
Talking about those particular
but here in Nigeria, the fuel hike is also as a result of the effect of the war. Exactly. You understand, we were made to understand that the Strait of Hormuz was blocked, and up to now, if as a day before yesterday or so, the President of the United States, Donald Trump, was threatening and was giving ultimatum to Syria, to Iran to open the Strait of Hormuz or face some possible attack.
Exactly.
And on this part of the divide, Nigeria, we can say that we are also facing it in a way.
Of course we are.
We are facing it. So the world is facing it in general, not just the Middle East. We are also facing it.
Exactly.
Okay, let's have the next newspaper, please. Please, the next newspaper, please.
Yes.
Okay, we have Daily Trust.
This is Daily Trust with the leading funding without flow. Water crisis differs across states. Funding without flow. Water crisis differs across states. This is talking about the problem of water. I think this is very, very critical. Water is one of the essences of life. And then it is responsibility of government to always ensure that water, along with health, is provided and security is provided for its citizenry. And you will be surprised, Mr. CK, to find that in most of these states, people mostly depend on those who have the capacity. They depend on boreholes. You will see boreholes proliferating all over, especially in urban centers. In your street alone, you can see like 5, 7, 10 boreholes created, and this somehow has some problems. Government no longer is able to provide potable drinking water to its citizenry, even in the urban areas. Talk less of semi-urban and rural areres. And this is
Mr. Shaibu, you when you talk about boreholes, you remind me of where I live. There is no pipe on water anywhere from government where I live. Even one of the largest estates in Abuja, the popular Gwarimpa estate, there is no potable viable water there. Everybody
people depend on boreholes.
Yes, and some might argue that this borehole has effect,
of course,
on on our cell structure.
Definitely,
it's cracking the pressure on
the soil structure.
The pressure that we are mounting on this ground is likely going to have some kind of ripple effect in the future.
Small road, you will see like 10 different boreholes of different
My estate, everybody has I have my own borehole. Everybody in my estate has a borehole.
You see?
Everybody has a borehole. So in an estate of about over 3,000 housing, over 2,000 housing units.
That is very sad.
You can imagine how many boreholes there, over 1,500 boreholes everywhere. So the pressure is high. And same to other estates, about 53 estates scattered all over my local Goma. That's to tell you. That's to tell you the number of boreholes that we have, and the effect is going to have, the pressure,
of course,
it's going to have on the ground. So I don't know what could be done to salvage this situation in the future, because if we continue like this, I think virtually everywhere will be.
These are the sort of situations you see happen that you begin to wonder, what services are government providing to the citizenry? If you go to hospital, you will not find drugs. When you go to the community, you cannot see potable drinking water for the people. Common, ordinary, this small water they are selling, sachet water, is now 15 naira and above. So you begin to wonder what are the services we call the pure water. Pure water, exactly. So you begin to wonder what are the services being provided by the government, either across local government, state government, or federal government. You can't see them. You understand what I'm saying? You can't see them. Even simple subsidy that will make things life easy for the citizen have been removed in most of the products that we enjoy.
What transportation?
Even transportation. If oil is not being subsidized, you end up paying high amount of money for transportation. You understand? Today, fuel is 1,000 plus. You can begin to imagine how much it will cost you from your house at Lokogoma to here.
From Lokogoma to this place, fuel is about 8,200 naira.
You can see. So honestly speaking,
in fact, yesterday I went to buy fuel.
Nigerian has lost confidence.
I went to buy fuel with a jerry can, and I ordered for 5,300 naira fuel for a 4 liter.
That's about 4 liters or 3 something liters.
It was up to 4 liters.
Yes, I said 3 point something liters.
3.86 liters.
You can imagine that
for 5,300. That was the same money that in time past here, just a few years down here, can take me to Suleja at the rate of 190 and bring me back safe.
People have lost confidence in government. People are no longer relying on government for anything. And then that's why you see even the will to come out and vote is dying within the Nigerians. Nobody is now looking excited even when election.
You mean this hardship is affecting?
Yes.
There's voter apathy as a result of hardship?
At all.
People are tired.
So it doesn't matter who rules, who comes to power, what kind of government is being run by everything. The ordinary Nigerian is tired of everything. That is because the government is not doing anything at all.
I can see probably. So what's the situation like in Kaduna?
No, it's Kaduna, just like any other urban city. People are busy. The will to survive is all. You can trust Nigerians. No matter how difficult situation you put them in, they will try to survive. And that is common to all Nigerians, irrespective of religion, tribe, or region. The will to survive is there within Nigeria.
What they call the hustlers.
The hustlers. But nobody is relying on government for anything any longer. So we don't even know what they are doing there. Majority of people do not even know what leadership is doing there. That's just the crux of the matter.
Leadership is not felt at the grassroots.
At all.
And some may even come out and argue now that we have local government autonomy where local government receives their allocations directly, and still people are not feeling the impact of government. Okay, let's go to the next newspaper, please. Let's see what we have on the next paper. Tribune.
The Tribune
approves 3.3 trillion to tackle electricity crisis.
That's just what we have discussed.
3.3 trillion to tackle electricity crisis. That is the major headlines on Tribune there. And we have Army what?
Army rescues 31 abducted
31
worshippers in Kaduna.
Army rescues 31 abducted worshippers in Kaduna. Wow.
Bandits kill 7. Suspected armed herders kill 9 in Benue. So, wow.
We can now see that the same issue of electricity, 3.3 trillion to tackle the electricity crisis. The last time the president went to Jos, to visit the Agwang Rukuba incident there.
Yes.
Right in the airport there, he acknowledged the fact that there is no light. Where some were saying maybe the light has to do with the wrong way. Some were saying no, it's not the light that serves the airport, but the light that serves the wrong way. There was different argument, but at least he did mention the issue of light.
Should light supposed to be lacking in an airport? In an airport.
Well, Mr. Shaibu, if you're asking,
it's not even a matter whether it is the wrong way or the entire surrounding of the airport.
What there's no light?
Yes, in an airport we are talking about. So even if there's light on the wrong way, but there's no light in the whole airport building, it's still very, very.
But that was an argument by some people. Some said yes. Well,
you see,
although the most important thing is the president acknowledged the fact that there was no light, and now he has come to say, okay, 3.3 trillion naira, to fix.
After all, even the Aso Road itself run on solar. You can imagine that.
Well, if somebody was
billions, hundreds of billions have been exhausted into ensuring that there's solar. The Aso Road itself runs on solar.
On solar?
Yes.
And,
you can imagine that.
An average Nigerian cannot afford solar lights because I attempted putting one in my house. It's a Shaibu.
Good luck.
And I attempted.
Anyway, they are in categories, yes.
But the cheapest of all is not less than ₦1 million.
You can afford that.
Well, I don't know what you are talking about, Mr. Ibrahim. All right, but that's a serious one. And the issue of, rescuing 31 abducted worshippers in Kaduna. Again. Now we can see that, and 7 killed, right? We can see that the issue of insecurity in Kaduna is still on. Mr. Shaibu, you are from Kaduna State, I want to believe.
Of course.
You can see that the issue of killings.
It's not only Kaduna.
I'm just talking about with reference to Kaduna State. You can see that. Because last week we also had issues of 13 people being killed.
Still in Kaduna. After that, wedding something.
Yes.
It is very unfortunate that up to today we keep talking here because most of our discussions in this forum and other platforms in this particular station is mainly about politics, business, and insecurity. But it appears that most time we take so much time talking about insecurity because it just refuses to go. And then particularly
it has come to stay.
It has come to stay, particularly in those key areas, Kaduna, Plateau, Benue. Kaduna, Plateau, Benue. Although they vary. Some are banditry, some are just ethno-religious crisis, and some are cases of insurgency. But the fact that the government is yet unable to go around and to able to reduce, even if it cannot fully control it or stop it, at least we should feel
reduce it to the bare minimum.
Every day. There is no day that we wake up in this country that you can't hear, that you wouldn't hear. Certain number of people have been killed, either lost their life, either as a result of banditry, insurgency, or ethno-religious crisis.
And we're beginning to get used to it.
Of course.
Average Nigerian is beginning to get used to the trauma, get used to the fact that it's becoming the norm that you wake up every morning. What greets you in front of the newspapers and the television and your phones?
The only thing you are waiting for is how many died and where is it occurring.
But there must be killings.
There must be killings.
How did we
become part of everyday life.
How did we get here?
I don't even know. But if the essence of government is to ensure security of lives and property of citizens, at least this should have been reduced to the barest minimum by now. This is the same thing we have been facing for decades, almost 3 decades now, because it's over 22, 23 years now. From
insurgency.
Yeah, from insurgency, it now spiral down to banditry, and then spiral down to ethno-religious crisis, because they
kidnap for ransom and the rest of them.
Exactly. Differ from the
these ills were not, seen. We're not known for it 15, 20 years ago.
That is why so many people are thinking that there is some political coloration into the whole of these things. We always keep saying this. When leaders like Sani Abacha speak, not just Sani Abacha, anytime any leader, particularly president, makes a very strong categorical statement, there is an element of truth to it.
Like the statement from Gumi?
Yeah? No, I'm talking about Abacha when he said that whenever you see an insecurity issue lasting longer than it is necessary, definitely the government has some interest or hands in it. I'm just implying it, not directly.
Some might argue that the days of Abacha and now is different.
It doesn't matter. Government is government. And violence is violence, wherever and whenever it is happening.
regardless of the time.
Yes, if you can remember, the amount of opportunities and connections and money and everything that the federal government has during Abacha is not the same as what the position the present government found itself in.
So are you saying that we've experienced some form of economic growth and
of course,
as a result of that,
and
that should reflect in the way we handle
exactly, and exposure, yes, and exposure and even access to modern weaponry. So you understand, with modern intelligence. Do you understand? And up to now, we cannot be able to take care of this.
So how do you marry the statement of Gumi who said that government seems to know the names of every member of the bandits, and then marry that with that of the Abacha that says any insecurity,
yes,
that continues
that 28, is it
48 hours
government has a hand in it, something like that. So the two statements are just pari passu.
All right, let's leave that and continue with the next newspaper headline. Can we also have the next newspaper, please? The Punch: political storm brews over PVC revalidation. Mr. Ibrahim, yes. Political storm brews. I don't think we want to go deeper into this. Yes. We're not going to dive deeper, but that will form the major subject of our discussion in today's morning show. But for now, what do you have to say briefly about the political storm? What's the storm like? Who is storming who?
Of course, because you see, political parties seems to look at this thing as an attempt to weaken their structure and their strategy to 2027 election. And rightly, they have reasons for that. But when you look at the whole exercise at face value, you will see that there's nothing wrong with it. Just a system of a kind of house cleaning sort of thing before the major election. Actually,
but we're not used to revalidation, Mr. Jibril. Some will argue that before now, what we do is just
they do, but they don't make noise about it. They check out who the number of people who have shifted position. Initially, you might have registered in Kaduna, but now you have moved to Calabar. Do you understand? So you now want to go and register in Calabar. So they need to take care of all these things. Then there are people that are first-time voters. They have to be re-registered. All these are issues of revalidation that is silently taking place. But in this case, what is worrying in this case? Yes. What is worrying in this case is two things. One, the timing. Why now? I keep saying that whatever movement.
Okay, Mr. Jab, I will not let you let the cat out of the bag for now. Like I said, it will form the major topic for our discussion today. So let's just leave it at that so that we'll move on, and then when we get to where we are really going to digest and dive deeply into it, then I will allow you to unleash,
my anger,
your anger. All right. Do we have any other catchy?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Talks intensify as Bauchi governors delays ADC defection. Talks intensify as Bauchi governors delays ADC defection.
Yeah, why is he delaying talks? And what are the talks?
People thought initially he's thinking of he had considered defecting to APC, but then again him and his group sat down and reviewed the whole defection thing, and then he's beginning to think that those who he has this similar political ideology are mostly, that's his statement yesterday, are mostly in the ADC, and he may likely even make the statement to the effect that we are not going to the APC because we have a lot of brothers in the ADC. So this is his still trying to consider and wait.
So why the delay if he has a lot of brothers?
Yes, because they are still making other calculations.
That's what I'm saying. The calculations, the talks is what I'm interested in. What are the talks?
Whenever a politician talks like this, there are talks about interest there. He may try to weigh in and see which way his interests are going to be adequately protected.
Could it be possible that he's looking at the crisis that is bedeviling the ADC right now, and the ADC looks like one party that is being shaking kind of.
I think he
and then maybe trying to weigh is it possible? Could it be possible that ADC may be probably delisted as as we are seeing, in the courts down that the likes of David Mark and Arebo Shola being asked to step aside, and Matthew being recognized, and the whole political drama and the whole braha going on politically. Do you see that as one of the factors that Bala Mohammed is looking at?
It might have been. It might have been, because so many things have to be considered. Politicians are the kind of people that think deep before taking a particular step. They are not the kind of people...
They think ahead.
They think ahead. They are just like a very shrewd businessman. They don't just make statements. They just make a move without looking at it from every angle. So there are so many things involved. But actually, his body language still shows that he's likely to defect the ADC than the APC.
The body language.
Yes.
Okay, I think I will leave it at that, the body language. Okay, let's go to the next newspaper, please, so that we can. Okay, we have the last newspaper here, sports, and what do we have?
Nacho and 6-month gold drought in Celtic.
Okay.
Nadozi stars as Brighton dump Arsenal out of FA Cup. So what do you say about that? Because I don't know anything about football.
Ian Acho has not scored for 6 months. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And now he has scored eventually, which is a good one for his psyche as a player. You know, when you are experiencing good drought for like 6 months, it's football has a lot to do with psychology. People don't understand that. That is why among the coaching crew, we have a psychologist there.
Okay.
Who can also tell you
among the officials.
Yes, when they say a player is not fit to play, sometimes that has something to do more with the physical strength.
It's not just physical.
The mental strength involves too.
Wow.
We've seen players who, that is why, who that was doing well in a particular league, and when they move to the next league, not without injury, the performance drop. Not because they are not physically fit somehow, but because sometimes the mental state is not strong. And part of it as a striker is goal scoring. When you are employed or hired or signed as a player to deliver
exactly
in the area of goal scoring, and for 6 months you have not done anything, you are likely to face some form of attacks, either from online and the rest of them. And it tells, it has a way of getting to the player. So when a player finally scores and ends that drought, it also has a way of also boosting the morale of that player, and that's what they're trying to make you understand here.
Okay.
Congratulations to Ian Acho for ending that 6 months good drought. Okay. Well, Mr. Shaibu, that will be all for now on the info. We're going to stop here on the newspaper review. We'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll dive straight into the topic for today. Once again, welcome to P&B Morning Show. We'll be right back after this timeout. All right, welcome back to the P&B Morning Show. All right, the political landscape is beginning to, show some signs of serious concern, and a lot of political parties are already kicking. Some are saying they are in support, while not some are also reacting on the issue that has to do with the voters' revalidation. IPAC has come out to say that they are not really concerned, they really are in support of the voters' revalidation, citing timing as one of the major reasons why the revalidation is not necessary. I still have with me here Mr. Alhaji Shaibu Ibrahim, and Mr. Shaibu, it's time to dive into this main issue now. What's your take on this issue of the Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC, and their concerns over the revalidation of the voters' cards, citing timing? Timing.
Thank you. You see, this is an exercise that is slated for April 2026 as part of preparation toward the 2027 general election. And the goal essentially is to actually clean up the voter register, first and foremost, as I tried to explain that initially at the part of the initial discussion here this morning, and also to remove duplicate, deceased people, and invalid people. This is done essentially to make sure that the register that we have in place now will cater for the 2027 election. Then thirdly, it also strengthens credibility. So when you look at it like that on the surface, you will see that it is seemingly a standard electoral housekeeping job that the INEC wants to do. So it's normal. It has happened in many developing countries and developed countries of the world.
Has it happened here in Nigeria?
No, it had, but like I told you initially, these are routine exercise that is done silently the umpire. You don't have to announce it. But why it is now being announced, there must be some political motive behind announcing it now. That is why people are looking at doubting the whole scenario. Why now? Do you understand?
But some argue that before now, what we are used to, that was, what was popular out there was the issue of voters registration for those
especially
who probably turned 18.
Exactly.
Before now, some citizens were like within the age of 14. And after 4 years, some people will graduate into becoming, an adult, which is 18.
Exactly.
And that's a popular one we're used to. But now some are beginning to read some people are beginning to read some
meaning
into it that no. Why now? Some are saying that I always saw a video making the round on social media where somebody was saying that everybody's PVC will be disenfranchised and that your PVC will be rendered invalid allegedly. So, but there are a lot of concerns out there and conspiracy theory.
That is why there are a lot of concerns among the IPAC itself, by the IPAC itself, and even by a greater majority of Nigerians. Before this permanent voter card was issued to Nigerians, there were 2 other temporary identity cards issued. I have both of them. I have both of them. Both of them were called temporary voters card. Now, many years after, some people have taken more than 3 years to be able to get access to their voters card, the permanent voters card. And then I use my permanent voters card to run at least 3 elections now. And now you are telling me that I need to revalidate. Why did you, in the first place, call it a permanent voters card? Well, it is permanent. The only thing that makes it valueless is when I die. Do you understand?
Because it is permanent.
Because it is permanent. No issue has ever been made about validating it officially, even to the extent of making public statement by an umpire. Do you understand? That is why people are beginning to say there are some things hidden. Do you understand? And then again, the timing.
But some people might go ahead, because I wanted to say something about the underage voters. Some people might also say it is good because we have a lot of alleged underage voters.
That is
which we have seen in the time past.
That already. That it's normal house cleaning thing. So you understand? At this
house
on the
sanitation.
surface, it is something okay. Like I told you,
the validation is not the issue.
It's not the issue.
The issue is what now?
The issue is one, publicizing it, because before now it is just a routine thing that's been done silently.
Okay.
And now the government is like trying to take responsibility that we are doing it and become an official statement, and then you are announcing at the very wrong time. This is the time that corresponds with the time that political parties are making alignment and realignment, and election or political things are happening within the parties. It will cause confusion. Do you understand? And why now? Just when less than a year or about a year to election, and then you know that
about
it will disenfranchise.
We have just barely 8 months.
So you can imagine. And once this is not completed now, a lot of people will be disenfranchised because at the end of the day, they say, okay, we have given a time grace of so amount of time, so many people have not done. The only people that can now vote are people that have been revalidated. That will mean a lot of people will be disenfranchised from that election. These are the things that some Nigerians and IPAC have seen. Because right now, the powers that be, when I say the powers that, I like to use this language all the time, the incumbency, the incumbent leadership will want to ensure, I told you that politicians do whatever they can to weaken the opposition and to ensure success for themselves. Of course.
The ruling party seems to have 32 governors. So why would they want to do that?
Why would it be? Exactly.
Now I'm asking, a party that prides itself as a party that controls 32 states.
And more than half members of the National Assembly.
So why would they jittery? Why would they do that? Don't you think is a allegation? This allegation is just fabricated. It's not really true.
It's not fabrication, because we have heard the IPAC complain it. They have a press conference to that effect. So it's not fabrication. Fabrication means something that has not happened and somebody is saying it. Do you understand? This is not fabrication. And then, like I told you all the time, I have said this several times, that no opportunity is too small to a political party.
No opportunity is too small.
It's too small.
Can you throw more light on that?
But the smallest thing you may want to ignore, a politician will say, I can use this to my advantage.
So the politicians go for the loopholes.
Exactly. Just imagine if they say they give 3 weeks or 4 weeks or 5 weeks, even 6 weeks for this revalidation exercise. Do you think 6 weeks 6 months is enough to revalidate 150 million registered voters in Nigeria? And then of these 150 million Nigerians that are already registered, I'm telling you that Almost 60% are in the rural areas. So the issue of logistics also comes into play. How many will be able to register online?
And
So
okay,
people need to go there physically to revalidate their card.
now let's look at the issue of timing. Timing in what sense? Timing in the sense that the election is just around the corner, or timing in the sense that the time is not enough to reach out. Like you said, some of the registered voters are in remote areas. So could it be possible that these voters may not be, we may not be able to, INEC may not be able to get across to them
exactly
in real time?
Exactly.
So that the timing the party is that the timing that IPAC is complaining about, or is it the fact that the election is up by the corner?
Both of them.
Both of them.
This will
the inability for INEC to finish this revalidation before election.
It can't. I'm telling you, it can't. There's no way it can. That's why the timing is wrong. And then again, because it is just around the corner, it will pave the way for the incumbent to manipulate things in its own direction. Because in the first place, whoever an empire is susceptible to the influence of the government of the day. It's not just common to the present administration, it's generally. We are just saying that INEC is independent. We know INEC, any government agency is 100% independent. In theory, by law, by constitution, they may seem independent. You understand?
Yes.
But in the real sense of the word, they are not.
But now, what advice you have for IPAC now, looking at the situation? Because IPAC might be of the opinion that they have too many issues on their plates now. Already.
Yes.
The issue of the court cases and what have you. And now it's like every month or every week, different policy statement is coming out in respect to preparation for the elections. And IPAC is shouting and crying that
even the parties themselves are already busy registering in new coming in members. Even the parties themselves. And there are parties that have not yet conducted their conventions and other things.
The likes of
there are so many. There are smaller political parties. It's unfortunate that we in Nigeria, when we begin to talk about political parties, always talk about PDP, about ADC, about APC. But there are parties that also mean business. As far as the law is concerned, as far as they are Nigerians, they are also political parties.
Like the Accord Party that has a governor in Osun State.
Exactly. Do you understand? So these smaller parties, they have a lot of things. Even the major parties that are, except for the ADC, and except for the APC and the PDP, I think the rest haven't even done their congress and conventions yet. So there are a lot of political activities going place, and now you say that you are going to revalidate voters, 150 million Nigerians.
Okay, let me ask you a question, Mr. Shaibu. Apart from IPAC, is there another party that is crying foul over this? The ruling party seems not to be saying much.
The meaning of IPAC is a group of all other opposition political parties.
But the ruling party,
they come together and complain. It's not just one political party.
I understand. Now, but my question is this. The ruling party seems to be silent about this issue. Why?
That is because whatever happens now, it is to its own advantage. If the validation, the only person that will win at the end of the day is the ruling party. Because if you take this validation to the next 6 months, they have already performed their congresses, they have already agreed on consensus. So you understand?
So it's favoring them.
Yes, and they are already the power in power. They are already the party in power. You understand? So that is why for now they are not saying anything. Because however it plays out, it will ultimately place out 95% to their advantage. And that is why the other people are complaining.
Because it's not favoring them.
Yes.
And why is it not favoring them?
How will it favor them? Like I told you, one, they are the opposition. Secondly, when you say you are going to revalidate this thing, it may end up that most of the people that have been validated, one, it will disenfranchise. Remember, for the ADC, it's just a new political coalition. It's now that it's beginning to register people. Do you understand? How can it divide its attention between registering people and then encouraging its people to go and revalidate their cards, their voters' card? So there are a lot of gray areas that even the INEC itself does not make very clear.
Okay. But in a way, do you see personally, on a personal note now, do you see any form of, do you smell a rat somewhere?
Of course I do.
You really smell a rat?
Of course I do. This is just an attempt, I think, by INEC. I don't want to sound too practical, but I will say that any other person looking at it, if you are a neutral person like me, you will think that INEC has been compromised. Yes. Because ordinarily, even INEC, I know it suffered before it came out and take that decision and even announced that we are going to revalidate. I am holding a permanent card for God. So why will you tell me that you need to revalidate? The simple revalidation that you used to do as an INEC, even before this person came into being, has been done as a routine exercise. Why are you giving it a time frame? Why are you making it a national issue to the extent that you now announce it and even call upon all the political parties and announce it in their midst? There is something frying underneath.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Okay, Mr. Shaibu Ibrahim, before I let you go on this topic, before now, prior to this time, we've had issues of INEC coming to interpret the court ruling, let the status quo remain. And I think I stumbled into a video where his lordship, or most senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, the renowned lawyer, was saying that INEC has no business interpreting the law, that the ruling of the court, that INEC is not the court, that the lawyers should do the interpretation, and that INEC does not have any business meddling into that court ruling. Let the status quo remain. Is now behoves on the lawyers, excuse me, and those who are saddled with the responsibility to interpret the law. To tell us what status quo should be maintained. He himself was of the opinion that the status quo that should be maintained is the fact that as at that time when that court ruling was made, David Mark and Adebo were those steering the ship, and as a result of that, they should continue pending when the final, ruling of the matter, is established by the courts. So now we've been seeing all kinds of arguments and counter arguments on that issue.
That's because we are Nigerians.
That's because we are Nigerians.
Are the wisest people on the surface of this earth. Even the Americans.
You think so?
I'm telling you, even the Americans have testified to that. Because when you go to all these European and American countries, whether North America or Latin America, you'll find that Nigerians perform wonderfully. Apart from the other Nigerians that do other things. Do you understand? But if a Nigerian leaves Nigeria with his own certificate and go and find himself anywhere in the world, they perform wonders. Is it in the engineering sector? Is it in the medical sector? Do you understand? Is it in the aviation or business or legal? All over the world.
Even in the military.
Anywhere, even in the military, anywhere, they are wonderful, great people. That is why in Nigeria, especially during political time, when you begin to make statements, people will interpret differently because we are wise. Everybody will be trying to interpret a particular statement based on how it will take advantage of it. But there are certain legal statements that does not require to be a lawyer in order to have the good interpretation of it, particularly this statement. Let the status quo. This
particular legal framework.
Yes. Let the status quo continue. All you need to do is to go and find the simple literal definition of the word status quo. Status quo means let the present state of being continue.
The present state of things and being continue.
Continue. That's a simple literal.
What that means that Arebe Sola and David Mark should.
That is just it.
As at when the court ruling was made.
Exactly. But you will find so many sons and so many Nigerians that have other motive behind or have other entry will try to now redefine it all over. Even people that are not lawyer will begin to give different interpretation. But in statement like that, we need only to take the literal meaning of the word. Let the status quo continue pending when the court will now pronounce the final decision. It's clear. Final decision for the complaint of nephew. Before the court will take its firm decision over the case of nephew's complaint, let the status quo continue. That is just it.
Okay, before
INEC may decide to interpret differently. Even the nephew himself and his lawyers will define differently.
But they say INEC doesn't have any business to interpret.
Of course, why? It shouldn't.
Okay, now
it only needed to understand the meaning of the word status quo.
All right, before we go on break, let me just ask you this one more question. It's not more or less like a question, but I think it's a concern. Why is INEC being the one as a body, as a neutral umpire, the way it is being perceived and created? Why is INEC being the one, dishing out all these statements, policy statements, looking at the status quo should be maintained now? INEC
is constitutional.
Why? Because INEC is becoming too busy, too everywhere. INEC is,
to be fair to INEC.
What's happening?
To be fair to INEC, whatever INEC is doing is within the constitutional mandate of its established mandate. Do you understand?
Including interpreting the status quo?
I'm trying to
the ruling of the court?
I'm trying to explain something.
Okay.
whatever activity you are talking about, why is it that it is dishing out this and that, this and that? Well, all those activities he's doing right now is part of his constitution, because it's supposed to be like the regulatory body, watching over the activities of parties, how they conduct their things. Do you understand?
Okay.
And even field them to the election day and determine which winner emerge at the end of the day. So it is within its own established mandate. But even in the discharge of the established mandate, you may likely make a mistake or two. That is what they are doing. For example, for them to say we are revalidating now is another mistake. Although revalidation
in itself is okay.
Yes, it's okay.
But the timing the timing is the issue now.
Timing is the issue, and then why now announce it to make it as a very special something? Since 2025, they have been revalidating. Even before 2025, they have been revalidating, but it's supposed to be a routine, simple, silent activity that should have been happening.
More so that ADC is still trying to put their house in order.
Exactly. You don't need to come, call a correspondent, call all the political parties, sit them down and say, hey, I am INEGO, now I'm going to revalidate. You don't need to do all this. We knew that you have been doing it under the carpet because it is your constitutional mandate, number one. And then again, what was the second question?
It's not a question, it's just a concern. I said, I'm trying to understand why INEC is, which you've cleared, why INEC is on the front burner now.
It's their function.
From at first was the status quo be maintained. We're here to, settle that.
That is another mistake.
We are here to settle that, and now we are hearing, revalidation. And then everybody, some might argue that is the whole thing is becoming back to back.
Exactly.
More so that most parties have already set out,
they finish that,
and the time frame is short. I think that probably what gave rise to this issue of timing vis-a-vis the ADC crisis. Exactly. Okay, Mr. Shaibu, thank you very much for doing justice to this discussion this morning. We'll be going on break, and when we come back, we dive into the second topic for today, and then we'll look at it. All right, we're going on break right now, and when we come back, we'll look at other topics. This is the morning show on P&B Television. All right, welcome back on Politics and Business Television. This is the morning show. I still have with me here Mr. Ibrahim Shaibu, and we are still going to look at the second issue now. All right, the second issue has to do with the attempt or consideration by other political parties to boycott the 2027 general election. All right. We don't know really why they want to do that, but Mr. Brian Shaibu, what do you think? What do you think is going on their mind now? What do you think? Why would they want to do that? Because some might argue that democracy is a game of collective participation. So some people are saying no. We are likely going to boycott the election. What's your take? Let me hear from you.
Yes, although that will not be my own position, I wouldn't want to see this happening. But for them to come out, for some of them to declare such intention, or even to give the body language that this is what they are planning to do or thinking of doing, it's probably because they have been aggrieved. They have seen situations whereby the incumbent administration is trying to frustrate the election through by using the INEC. That's supposed to be an independent and independent body that does not take the interest of any one political party. Because when they begin to see things like revalidation, when they begin to see the INEC try to interpret a simple common court statement,
but INEC is performing their function.
Yes, of course, I know. But when they are
what INEC is doing is within their legitimate right to do that. So why would that? Why would that be enough reason for them to say they want to boycott the election? I don't think it's proper.
I saw some articles somewhere that I think they have even retracted from that initial statement about pulling down the names of David Mark and Arabia Shola. I think I read this somewhere, although I don't know whether it's a credible statement anyway. But the political parties, the opposition political parties, are beginning to feel that INEC has been compromised. INEC, though independent, is seemingly under the influence of something or someone or some power.
How did they arrive at that? How did they know INEC has been compromised? Is it not just one of those conspiracy theories or negative perception? It's just a mere perception. For me, that's what I'm thinking. How do you know? Did they have any empirical fact to establish the fact that INEC has been compromised?
No.
Are they judging INEC by the statements they're making recently?
I haven't seen any statement boldly like that. But you know, like I tell you, in politics, a lot of, even perception means a lot of things. Like I told you during one of our previous discussion, that don't underestimate the power of perception when it comes to political decisions. That is why they go out and test the body temperature within communities to find out, well, can we do well in this particular community? So they see, that is
public opinion polls.
That's why they need psychologists, even them. Apart from footballers, even politicians need psychologists just as much as exactly as much as they needed lawyers. So you understand? They study things, they look at things, they study body language. Most times, this is what makes them to utter certain statements. You understand? But for me, boycotting the party, boycotting election will only give the incumbent more time to establish itself on power, have a firmer grip on power, and even to be able to control power as much as he wanted to. That is what had happened in Cameroon. That is why the Cameroonian president has lasted all this one, because it's small by small, but he was able to consolidate himself to the extent that at the face of it is multi-party democracy, but in reality is a single-party democracy. So for them, boycotting election is like giving the present government time and space to consolidate power firmly, so that by the time they wanted to now participate in election, they wouldn't even have any strength to be able to do that. By that time, government has already consolidated every angle and blockade. That is how Paul Biya was able to hold firmly to power for decades, almost 50 decades. So you understand? So for me, if they calculate well, they shouldn't give any breathing space. Let them come out, fight their right, make sure that some of this stand that INEC is taking has not been implemented. Do you understand? Just like they say, allegedly, that INEC has retracted back. He said they brought back themselves to the original definition of status quo. Do you understand? I think I read these articles 3 or 4 different places. You should also check that. For now, I think David Mark and the Arabic Shola and the course will hold. So they should also make sure that the IPAC as a group should make sure that even the revalidation has been controlled. There is no need to do this revalidation, honestly speaking. There is need though, but let them do it just the normal.
All right, talking about fighting back, don't you think that is political protest? Let me put it that way. Because when you say you want to boycott a particular process, you are in a way saying that you are protesting. You are trying to establish your grievance. Am I correct? So don't you think that this idea of trying to boycott the 2027 election is to make a statement, and it is a way of trying to weaken the whole exercise, and that it might not also mean well for whatever party that is in power. Because if I say I'm not going to participate in a fight, one man cannot play table tennis. One man cannot do boxing. If I say I'm not going to fight,
that happened.
I get to the ring now and I said, okay, and I backed out right there at the ring. Then of course, the sport will be called off.
If that happened, Tinubu will likely win again. And when he wins,
he will run alone.
The election.
Is it possible for a political party to run alone?
Allow me to complete the statement. Don't cut me. Allow me to finish the sentence.
Okay.
If that happens and they allow him to stand alone and win alone, you understand? Even if the election result is read out to the world, that particular election, the result will be very, very incredible to both nationally and internationally.
Will be credible.
Incredible.
Okay.
It will not be a credible election.
Okay.
So many world bodies and so many developed countries like USA and other UK, France will begin to talk against the election. Do you understand? Why will all the opposition pull down? There must be a reason. They will begin to find reasons into it. So you understand?
Okay.
So it will be an election that will be easily won by one candidate without any opposition. And Nigeria is not a single party democracy. They know that there are other political parties. Why didn't they participate in the election? Because boycott there means they are not going to field their candidate. But then again, remember, Nigeria is a very large country. So people will still decide to run on the, what do you call it? Those people that have not belonged to the political party. Independence. Some will decide to run independently because the constitution, I think, allowed independent candidates to run. Do you understand? The incumbent may decide to fill other people to go and contest independently. You know, politics about by giving the process credibility. Exactly. Anything goes. anything goes. And even within the party, even within the IPAC, the opposition, some people will still go against their decision of their party and still come out and contest.
So you are likely to see saboteurs.
So you're likely to see saboteurs. That is why, in the interest of Nigerians and in the interest of their political future, the political parties should not even boycott the election. They should do whatever they can within their power to fight back the decisions of the INEC.
That's why I'm saying that this idea of boycotting, I don't think is a way of fighting back too.
It is, of course it is. It is, but the INEC wouldn't matter. INEC wouldn't bother. Because they know just what all those things I explained to you, INEC also knows. Do you understand? And the ruling party also knows. The ruling party knows that if all these political parties decide to boycott,
it will be to their advantage.
Even if we win as APC, the world will look at our election as not as credible election.
Do you think they can?
So they will think of, okay, now let's sponsor CK. Let him come independently and contest against me.
To make it look credible.
Exactly. And let me sponsor Arokoto. Let him also come from another direction, one from the south, one from the north. I also contest, so that it may not seem as if I am the only person that contested. They should be able to calculate all these things together. You understand? And then again, once the opposition also knows that once they give up like that, the ruling party will now begin to consolidate itself and have a firmer grip on every nook and cranny of the political atmosphere. And by the time they win, using 2 or 3 fake independent candidates, they will consolidate themselves so that anytime any other opposition party truly comes, they will not find it easy to participate.
Okay.
Because we played out in several other African countries. We have seen
within this limited time that we have, I would like us to also talk about this issue. Do you see ADC as a formidable party that can survive this whole storm? Definitely
so. I'm 100% confident.
Why do you think so?
Yes, because most of the political giants that have helped this administration to come into being are now finding themselves within the ADC. Most of the people that were responsible for the success of the PDP in these countries are there in the ADC now. Most of the people that I helped the Buhari's CPC, even before NPP, they are all here. Most of the people that Tinubu himself used to pivot himself into where he is now are there. The gladiators, the main political gladiators of Nigeria, are currently in the APC. You know, even without mentioning the rest, if in Nigerian politics I mentioned the name of Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, Konkoso, Aregbesola, David Mark, Nasuri El-Rufai, and the
Malami,
and the present Bauchi State governor, whose body movement is trying to show that you will find himself in the same basket. You know that
and Tambol.
It is and Tambol. You know that definitely the ruling party must be shaken. Whether they say it, whether they indicate it or not.
Mr. Shabu, I would like to disagree with you, because in as much as I respect the fact that these political bigwigs are there, what do you make about
the power of incumbency?
Yes.
That is it. I know.
The man steering the ship at the moment. The man with the apparatus of the nation.
Your question was whether the ADC is a formidable opposition. I said yes.
Okay.
But I knew about the power of incumbency. But the power of incumbency did not allow Jonathan to proceed to his second term. You understand? So things happen.
But some might argue that Jonathan is not Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a stronger person.
No, well, I don't want to make comparison between. I don't want to make comparison between.
Some may argue. Some may argue. You know,
even the best political permutator has at one time lost election. We have histories of, I forgot to one American former president, who is regarded as one of the greatest American presidents. Things happen. Okay. You understand?
So what advice going forward do you have for
my advice is
for the political parties that wants to boycott, that intends to boycott the 2027? What advice do you have if you were to be their leader today?
If they are nursing that ambition, if they are having that plan in their pipeline, please let them give it up. Because boycotting this election is like ensuring, it's like forcing the incumbent on Nigerians. Because you will allow him to consolidate on power and you will allow him an easy win. Because if you are thinking that the world will not find the election as credible, there are a lot of ways they can maneuver to make the thing seem credible. And how many times did America or the US or the West consider an election an incredible election and then try to take it away? Never. They'll just make noise, and then at the end of the day, they allow that administration to continue. So please let them involve themselves fully, even while they tidy their houses together and then they try to confront INEC against some unnecessary requirements.
Okay, before we go, what other advice do you have for INEC as the umpire? What do you have to say to them?
They must remain true to their independence. They may remain true to be neutral. They should know that they are handling the lives of almost 250 million Nigerians. Whatever you do today as a leader, it may tomorrow come to haunt you. That is all what I want to tell, particularly to the umpire.
All right, like my friend and brother OJ will always say, let the discussion do what? Continues. All right, time is up, our friend, Mr. Naji Shaiba. I want to thank you so much for doing a justice to this topic today. I want to say thank you so much, and I want to also thank the viewers for being patient with us. Sorry we started slightly late, but we are very hopeful that tomorrow everything will go smoothly. My name is T. Kenneth Chidi. I want to thank you so much, and this is Politics and Business Television. The show still remains the morning show. See you tomorrow, same time tomorrow morning on P&B Television. Bye for now.